What's up, you guys? This is MCLegoboy here with 7680, the Twilight. And this is actually a pretty cool ship. I like it. The set's also pretty good. The only problem is that it's kind of bulky, and it's actually way out of scale for minifigures. So that just shows how big the ship actually is. But anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know. We're gonna go over minifigures now. So anyway, Anakin. You guys have all seen Anakin before, and if you haven't, where have you been? But this was back whenever Anakin and Ahsoka weren't in almost every Clone Wars set. They were in a bunch, but they weren't in every Clone Wars set yet. Or some version of them. But there's Ahsoka. Still don't get why they never printed on her back, because she's wearing a weird tube top thing. I don't know. So, and then original R2-D2. So this was still before they made a Clone Wars version of him, which only came out in the Y-Wing. And so I guess what you got to do is just buy a whole bunch of Clone Wars R2-D2s and just throw them in everywhere that there was an R2-D2. And then you've got Rhoda. Some people say it's Rhoda, but I don't think his name was ever said except by maybe Jabba the Hutt, but I think he said it was Rhoda. So I'm going to call him Rhoda the Hutt. And this was like the first time I ever saw the weird plastic used. This was back in 2008. Lego was already starting to use fancy pieces made in other countries. So, still, like, it's not a bad minifigure, but what do you do with it? So, and then we move on to the Twilight. So, not too great of minifigures. R2-D2 is cool, so it's fine to have him. Ahsoka's annoying, so I really don't like her. Anakin, I don't really have a problem with him being in a bunch of sets. My problem is that they put him in too many different sets now that, like, that's all you can ever find are Anakins and Ahsokas. If you want to, like, create a swarm, like if you got the ATTE, you're going to get a whole bunch of them. If you wanted to, like, create some sort of mini army or something. But what am I doing talking about that set? This is this set. We got to go over this one. Now, this set, it's kind of complicated a little bit. A little convoluted in the ways that things are built, but it makes a pretty sweet model afterward, and I think I'm gonna have to sneeze. That's a normal sneeze, you guys. All you people that, like, build up and don't sneeze at all, or hardly sneeze, yeah, forget your girly sneezes. That's a manly sneeze right there. So, I guess we just kind of go over everything. The really cool function of the set, I'm going to wait till the very end because I think I'm going to have to move the camera around for that. But, oh no, I don't want to go through this again. By the way, I'm reviewing this the same day as I did the gunship, so, you know, if you hear some things that kind of call back to that, just remember that I'm recording this on the same day. But anyway, this was one of the coolest functions, is that you were able to do that and you could fit the minifigures in there. And I'm going to put the minifigures in here now just because I got to do it eventually. So, and they have a place for the lightsabers to just kind of hook in. But, and also you flip that up, you're able to sit the minifigures in no problem. They even have a place for Rhoda. That's pretty cool. And you've got Ahsoka, we gotta put in. Oh. And, come on. Move your hand. Clip that down too. Right there you can see that there are some control panels for the minifigures, so that was kind of nice of Lego to do that. This whole entire front part right here uses some pretty good snot work, and it all works out pretty beautifully. So, I mean, like, look at that detail. All of it. Great. Great stuff. Actually, we're not going to go on this side. We're going to move over to this side because this is where we got some tools. It's hard to see. There we go. See the tools? So you got tools right there. R2-D2. He just sits there. That's where you're told to put him in the instructions. The other side had an escape pod. And this is what an escape pod looks like. It's not a back-to-tank. Not like all you other people that thought that the back-to-tank in the gunship was an escape pod. So, yes. And it really only fits one minifigure, and that's not including R2-D2. Poor R2 is too fat. He can't fit into this thing, so... But if you were to move this, yeah, you can't even open up that side, so what's the point? Alright. Right here actually is the engine, and I don't like how the engines, they're the wrong color. This is supposed to be orange, and rather than go in, it's supposed to pop out. I don't know how to explain this to you guys, but the way they did the engines, it's perfectly fine. I mean, they put in engines. That's cool. They just put in the wrong color and made them face the wrong direction. They're like the little radar dish things. That yeah, they're going the wrong direction. But anyway, this is pretty cool. You've got this door. It'll go up and it'll stay. Well, right here, you've got this little Technic thing. Press it, and the thing will fall down. Put it up. So, that's pretty cool. In here, they've got the other tools. And right here, you actually have the winch cable. Which is in the movie somewhere, or maybe it's not in the movie. It's somewhere in the show. But that was cool that they threw in the winch cable. And the way I can tell you that this is way out of scale is that Anakin's starfighter is supposed to be able to fit in back inside here. That's how out of proportion this ship is as compared to minifigures. But yeah, there was supposed to be. There's actually another one of these that you get, and it pains me that Lego made flick-fire missiles. They're a waste of time. Why do you get another one? I guess kids are bound to lose this easily. I don't know, but. What is nice about it is that it can turn just like in the show, but the bottom doesn't turn. So that's a little bit of a disappointment for somebody that knows what the ship does. But if you don't pay attention to that part all too much, or you don't care, I mean, perfectly acceptable. Has landing gear that you just do that with, and whenever you want it to land, you just push these out and it works. And they're pretty good landing gear system. And we're gonna run out of time, so we're gonna let this die, and then we'll come right back. So now we're gonna have to move the chair that I'm sitting in, and I'm feeling like we should do a slow-mo of this, because this is gonna be pretty cool. So let's change the function to slow-mo. Alright, so I actually edited out the fails that I did of this. But anyway, there's this little lever right here. And you actually have to flip that up as hard as you can to actually get it to get the bottom wing to fall. See, if you just do it once, it's not going to work. It's not enough. And then you have to push it down. But that's pretty cool that it can do that. And there's really nothing else to say about the set, because we've now gone over all the functions. And this part is supposed to be flipped up, but flipped down whenever it's land mode, or when it's landed. So, oh! I've now broken the ship. Hooray! Now we gotta pull this out. This set's a little fragile, at least up in front. So, let's see if we can actually get this fixed quickly. There we go. But yeah, that should be it for 7680, the Twilight. It's actually not a bad build. It's kind of a long build, but there isn't a whole bunch of repetition because of the asymmetricality of it. I'm smacking the ship now. I'm scared because I'm gonna break it or something. But I'm not sure how much of a good playset it is, because it is kind of bulky. So if you were to try and fly this around, there is no way to keep this from flopping back. So if you were to try and do some sort of aerial trick of flipping this thing upside down, this lower wing would end up closing in. So you'd have to hold it in place. But it's really not a bad set. So if you guys can find it online anywhere, yeah. I also forgot to mention that in the beginning, this set has actually been requested of me before, but I ended up, well, I'm just going to explain it all in the description, but basically I'm kind of scared of this set, because yeah. Read it in the blah blah blah. This has been MCLegoboy. See you guys.